Welcome everyone to the video, and today we are going to talk about a very important topic that a lot of people have been having trouble with. The tower mode is great, the CROWNS challenge. However, there are bosses that are giving people lots of trouble, and that is with the revised renew mechanic. Now, just to go over the renew mechanic, the renew mechanic is a buff that increases HP every turn, and it does stack up to 10. It's for 1 max HP. So if you have these characters, the characters that have renew that are a problem are Caitlyn. You also have the biggest culprit. Well, you have Marjorie as well, who does renew. And you have, where is she? Sansa. Sansa being the hardest one to take down. Now, the problem is when they get their renew stacks up, they heal every turn and can feel impossible to take them down. Now, the good part about CROWNS Challenge is that you could do as many retries as possible to get the match done. Now, you have to be aware of their kits, and you have to nuke them. What I recommend, what I usually do in these nodes is the wave before the boss, I save up all my special attacks and everything ready for the second wave. And then when the boss comes, I nuke the boss. I hit them as hard as possible, and you have to use characters that nuke. So, for example, in the Stark Tower, you are going to want to get characters that do brittle and bonus damage for brittle enemies. You want to get this character brittle as quickly as possible and do lots of damage. The best character, believe it or not, that hits 2 towers for these characters is Theon Greyjoy. Theon Greyjoy, at the level that I have him now, does 275% attack, physical damage, inflicts almost 2 ice, and has a fast speed move, and is very good against these bosses. So you need nukes. In the Baratheon and Green Tower, the Greens all do nukes. Now be careful on Sansa, because if you debuff Sansa, she will renew. She will create stacks of renew. So you don't want to use Otto's move right away to give her the renew. You want to buff up your team and attack them and focus on them. You have to get these 3 characters, Caitlyn, Marjorie, and Sansa, killed immediately before the renew stacks go crazy high. Do not worry about the other enemies. You have to focus on taking them out before their renew stacks get up high. Another character who helps out tremendously with this in one of the towers is Peter Baelish. He does have a wonderful attack that does a lot of damage, and you keep getting this move up and you keep swiping them and taking them down. In the Baratheon Tower, the Baratheons, if you are using the Baratheons, again, save all their moves. You are going to want to use Varys' defense down to scout, and for 4 turns, lower their defense so you can nuke them. So you can use all your moves together and take them out. It is going to be a challenge. Some of them, it's like a seesaw. They go up and then they go down. They go up and they go down. But you have unlimited trials. It is a stat check. So some of these opponents you are not going to beat. You have to look at their kits. Sansa's special grants renew with a bonus renew for everyone. And then when she's debuffed, she inflicts ice and renew. So you want to be careful with the debuffs. Again, the Varys defense down is good. It will create a stack of renew, but you will get the defense down which you need. So you need to tackle that. Then you have the other character who has the renew, which is Marjorie. Marjorie also heals as well. So at the start of every turn, she has a 50% chance to renew the weakest ally. This can stack up and be very daunting and be very hard to beat, and you will not get it down. So focus on the champions that you need to take down. The other character who has it as well is Catelyn Stark. Catelyn Stark heals a big heal and then grants renew. Now, the cool part about Catelyn Stark is that if there are, for example, 3 enemies on the board, you might be able to have her target an enemy to heal and grant them renew instead of herself. So it's not like Sansa, who does a crazy amount. Sansa is the hardest. But you just need to focus on these characters, nuke them as much as possible. In the pit is probably going to be the hardest one to do. But what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to build a fire team and nuke with the fire. Get the fire stacks going and get Daenerys to do her fire move on the target to nuke them. You have to take them down. You cannot let them build the stacks. If you build the stacks, it's a restart. You have to do it over. The tower has many good parts to it, and the renew is the most challenging part for people. Also, if you cannot beat it, you're probably not strong enough. Your levels, stars, and abilities matter. So you need to get stronger with them. But again, you need to build a team with nukes and sustain. That seems to be the way to go for towers. When you get to the first wave, clear the enemies out and try to save as many specials as possible so you can start doing damage to these 3 renewer bosses, which can be a pain. Brittle is your friend in Night's Watch. So is Theon. Theon hits super hard. Craster too, but not everybody has Craster. In the Crown Lands, you have Theon again. Highly recommend working on him. He is a nuker. He is an archer marksman, which does more damage. And then also Peter Baelish comes in handy, helps out quite a bit with the sustain and also super powerful drops. Stormlands, the greens are your team to nuke. Get all your specials ready and saved for that and just target the character right away. The Baratheons, gem damage is your friend. Varys for defense down. Save up all your specials. And the pit is the hardest. The pit is the hardest, I'm not going to lie. Maybe when they introduce the blacks to the game, the pit will be easier. But right now, you're going to have to use a fire team. Get as many stacks of fire on the enemy and do that. I hope these tips help you. Remember, do not let them build those stacks of renew. It is deadly. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you all next time. Take care.